So most archers are really used to shooting on a flat archery field, but this beast behind me is a whole different animal. So come with me and I'll take you into the venue. So this area here is the staging area where the athletes are going to stay while they're waiting to head onto the finals venue. I feel like when you're waiting here, you definitely feel the nerves and the anticipation and the excitement. You can hear the crowd, you can see the VIP area, and you get a little bit of glimpse of the stadium, but it's still hidden. So here they're gonna give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we actually don't get to practice on the venue. When the archers go out there, that will be the first arrows that they shoot out in the venue. So they have no warm-up, no practice, and they're going out there cold. So when I walk in and I step on the line, the first things that I'm going to look for in a venue are obviously the target, but from there I'm going to notice where the screens are so I can see my arrows, as well as the windsock, which is incredibly important in a finals venue. We're also going to notice where the clocks are, because we're going to need to know the clocks so we know when we can shoot as far as the alternating arrows go. Now the other thing that's different is when you're on a flat field, it's very easy to read the wind and it comes from any direction. But as you can see, there's different things that block the wind or give the wind channels to come around and make it a little bit more difficult. Sometimes we'll feel the wind harder on us, but because we have so much blocking it versus being on an open field, our arrows may actually drift less in the finals venue. And so that's something that you really have to learn quickly because you want to minimize any missed points early on in the match. So the first arrow is incredibly important because we need to use that as a tracer arrow. If you need to adjust your sight, being from here from the practice venue, that's the arrow that's going to help you get that adjusted quickly. And so I think it's so important that an archer's first arrow is one of their best arrows because they need that to quickly adjust and minimize any points they may drop later in the match. It's definitely different shooting in front of crowds. It definitely makes it more exciting. You hear the noise, you hear the people cheering, and again, you're kind of trying to focus out, but every once in a while when that special chant or you hear someone's voice that you recognize kind of shine through the crowd, a lot of the times it really helps reset you and you're like, okay, I can do this, I've got this, they're here supporting me, let's make it happen. Obviously, shooting for the USA when you're in a finals venue, like the USA chant is something that you definitely want to hear. USA! 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 So archery in the arena is not just for spectators in the stands. There's always cameramen, camera crew, there's cameras on an arm that are out in front of you. So that's another element that you have to learn to be comfortable with and kind of tune out and not focus on that while you're shooting on the shooting line. When you're in the finals venue, your focus is so small and your groups are so tiny that you don't even see this out here. You're focused on such a small area of the target that you tune this out and you stay focused on what it is you're trying to hit. So here we're actually at the targets, and this is where all the magic happens. So as an archer, you never actually get to come down here because someone's actually there and they pull your arrows for you during the match. This is going to speed up that process and it's very different from when we qualify the rest of the week. During the week, we actually walk, pull, and score our own arrows. The competitors are doing the scorecards, and it takes a bit of time in between. In the finals venue, we want it to be as quick as possible, so we have runners that come down, they actually score the arrows, and then the runners run the arrows back every other end. That way archers can shoot the same arrows, speed up the process, and they don't have to walk back and forth. So we actually get to pick our own agent that comes down and scores our arrows and then sends our arrows back. So with Team USA, we have a rule that if there's an arrow that hit outside where we would want, they usually flip that arrow upside down just so we can give it a little bit of extra attention and check it when we get back. As you can see, the target is not very big, but when you walk into a finals venue, you see that distance between you and the target. That 10 ring looks smaller than ever. It's very interesting when you walk into a finals venue how much smaller it looks versus when you're out on the normal field. One, being in a finals venue and that added pressure is definitely going to make scoring high more difficult, but then you throw the winds into the mix and that makes it very challenging. So to see people come out in a finals with wind like this and score high is just so impressive.